Hello and welcome back to Exothermic Plays Games. I'm Exothermic and the date today is Tuesday, March 5th, 2024. That means it's the 65th day of ranking my favorite video games through each day of the year. Coming in at number 302 is Overlord. In Overlord, you play as a resurrected evil mastermind, controlling hordes of minions in order to gain more influence in the realm. Your overall goal in the game is to gain control of the human race, either through sheer intimidation and force, or to win over their hearts and minds. I typically like to go for the latter because it's funny to me when I'm going around killing a bunch of stuff and they're like, "You're our hero." They are plagued by other fantasy races such as halflings, elves, and dwarves, and it's up to you and your minions to shut down those threats, usually with less than nice methods. The army at your disposal is made up of 4 different color minions. Your most basic minion that you start the game with is brown minions, who are the best melee combatants, but don't have other special abilities. Then there's red minions, who have a ranged attack that can set enemies on fire, but also they consume fire from areas, allowing them to clear obstacles out of your way. Green minions are immune to poison, and while they're much squishier than browns, a small cluster of green minions can do a lot of damage. If you make them stand still, they turn invisible, and do bonus damage when attacking enemies from behind. Like how red minions can clear fire-based obstacles, green minions remove sources of noxious gas, clearing paths that way. The last minion type is blue minions. None of your minions can swim, except for blues, allowing them to reach areas previously unreachable in order to extend bridges, collect treasure, or deal with other threats. They're also surprisingly empathetic for being demonic underlings, acting as combat medics for your army. In addition to the horde of minions at your command, you can cast spells with offensive magic such as a fireball, or support powers to temporarily increase the fighting prowess of your underlings. You can also equip a melee weapon to get into the fray yourself, and within the castle that is your base of operations, there's a forge that you can sacrifice the souls of your minions to in order to upgrade your weapon and armor. The way you gain souls is by killing everything else. From bugs to sheep to dwarves, everything you kill drops a soul. The color of the soul dictates the color of the minion it produces. While I assume there's an overall limit to the amount of each soul you can have, I have certainly never reached it, and I have killed a lot of sheep. When out in the field, however, you do have an army limit for what's at your disposal. That limit increases as you find objects of power, but as you travel to new locations and face new challenges, it's an interesting dynamic to find the right composition for your minion army. I mentioned the tower. It's the center of your operation and has several unlockable rooms. You can customize it by buying various decorations, and most rooms serve some kind of purpose. You have a living quarters, the fort I mentioned, an undercroft where you store the hives for your minions and can view statistics for your game, and the arena. In the arena, you can choose enemies to fight, pick the exact minion composition you want, and go to town. It's good for a little fun, but I actually don't think the combat is the real draw to the game. The real reason I like this game is that it's another puzzle game in disguise. There's a lot of little switches, branching paths, and hidden items in this game, and you have to utilize the proper minions in order to get to them all, so they can carry it back to a teleporter pad back to your tower. The combat itself, apart from some interesting spell usage every once in a while, is pretty bland. Throw your army at the threats and try to mitigate losses while avoiding too much damage yourself. Most fights are pretty much the same, but the puzzles get pretty interesting. For example, you can send your minions over somewhere, and if they interact, they do that. But you can also have them hold a position to bombard an area, or intercept something, or to just not run to their death. The last way you can make your minions move, though, is with a sweeping motion, where you use the mouse or controller to guide your path, making sure they don't do something stupid in the process. Overlord isn't exactly open world, but you do get some flexibility in how you handle quests, at least to a point. Once you have all of the different minions available, you can really tackle the branches of threats facing humanity in more or less any order once you discover them, letting you have some fun control over the narrative. Despite plain combat, it serves the game's core mechanic of controlling minions well, and can throw some very fun wrenches into your puzzle-solving plans, showing the game's true strengths. Join me tomorrow as I talk about the 301st game on my list, where I fight along to the music.